report from Punchbowl News says that Amazon is looking to avoid the blame for raising prices as a result of President Trump's new tariff.
But I imagine you do when it comes to tariffs.
We look at all the things that could impact consumers and customers.
He's getting killed right now. They're getting absolutely destroyed. Their factories are closing. Their unemployment is going through the roof. I'm not looking to do that to China.
Amazon's CEO has made a groundbreaking decision to move the company's headquarters outside the United States, an event that signals a major shift not only for the e-commerce giant, but also for the broader global business landscape. This bold move, coming on the heels of sweeping tariffs imposed by the new administration, highlights just how fragile international trade relationships can be when political agendas shift suddenly. What was once a symbol of innovation and prosperity in the Pacific Northwest is now shrouded in uncertainty. Amazon's sprawling campus, once bustling with optimism, is at a crossroads, with its future as a major hub for employment and development now unclear. Employees who once proudly celebrated Amazon's meteoric rise are now facing tough personal choices, whether to relocate or start over somewhere new. But the impact of this decision reaches far beyond the tech world. Governments and corporate partners across industries are now racing to assess what this means for their economies and strategies, as one of the world's most influential companies prepares for a seismic shift. At the heart of this dramatic turn lies the aggressive new trade policy of the incoming US administration. Tariffs, once a tool used sparingly, are now being applied forcefully across a wide range of trading partners. By imposing high duties on imports from key allies and long-term partners, the administration aims to support domestic manufacturing. However, this strategy has also led to rising costs for foreign buyers, chipping away at the global competitiveness of American products. As expenses climb and supply chains buckle under the strain of new regulations, businesses around the world are being forced to reconsider whether sourcing from the US is still worth it. For Amazon, a company whose success depends on smooth and efficient international logistics, these changes pose a serious threat. The CEO's decision to lead the relocation effort himself sends a clear message. There's growing frustration with the direction of current US economic policy. While major corporations are used to navigating regulatory changes, the speed and scale of these new trade barriers have caught many off guard. Within Amazon's own walls, executives are grappling with a hard truth. Even a company of Amazon's size and resources isn't immune to the risks of political volatility. Moving operations abroad is a drastic step, but for Amazon's leadership, it appears to be the only way to ensure the company can continue serving its global customers efficiently and competitively. Choosing the new headquarters wasn't a decision made lightly. It involved a strategic evaluation of multiple factors. The chosen country stood out for its business-friendly tax policies, strong technological infrastructure, and political stability. Being close to key manufacturing centers was also vital, as it would allow Amazon to maintain smooth and timely product flows from production to delivery. Other major considerations included access to skilled labor, world-class education institutions, and a high quality of life, all of which helped tip the scales. Now, that country is set to reap significant benefits. Thousands of new high-skilled jobs, major investments in infrastructure, and a boost to local economies. Meanwhile, the city Amazon is leaving behind is facing a major blow. Small businesses that once thrived on Amazon employee traffic are bracing for losses. Real estate markets, once buoyed by the demand from highly paid tech workers, could see a downturn. Local governments that relied on Amazon's tax contributions are preparing for budget shortfalls that may affect schools, public services, and long-term infrastructure plans. On a national level, the US is confronted with a difficult truth. The tariffs, intended to protect American industries, are now clashing with the realities of modern global commerce. As Amazon looks to establish its future overseas, serious questions are being raised about the long-term sustainability of a trade policy that prioritizes short-term political wins over long-term economic cooperation. Critics argue that the tariffs have done more harm than good, straining relationships with key allies and opening the door for rival economic blocs to step in. From an international perspective, Amazon's relocation is a major win for the host country, bringing not just prestige, but tangible economic benefits. The move also sends a signal to other multinational corporations. Operating outside the US is now a viable and potentially preferable option. Countries seeking to attract such investment will likely ramp up efforts to offer appealing tax breaks, streamlined regulations, and assurances of political and trade stability. In many ways, Amazon's decision could spark a new wave of global competition as nations compete to become the next hub for major corporate headquarters. Each country will put forth its best mix of talent, infrastructure, and incentives in hopes of attracting the next big name. As Amazon begins the massive task of relocating, its legendary logistics network will be put to the test. But one thing is clear: the world of international business has just entered a new chapter, one where even the largest corporations are willing to cross borders to protect their future. Amazon's renowned fulfillment and distribution network, long praised for its speed and efficiency, is now undergoing a major transformation. As the company shifts its headquarters overseas, its logistics systems must adapt to new import and export pathways. Warehouses will be repurposed, shipping routes restructured, and existing partnerships renegotiated. For employees working at Amazon's international facilities, the announcement has sparked a wave of excitement and anticipation. New hires are enrolling in training programs, local suppliers are scaling up their operations, and regional governments are rolling out the red carpet to support Amazon's expansion. However, this transition must be executed with pinpoint accuracy to prevent any disruption that could damage the company's hard-earned reputation for reliability. Internally, Amazon is working thoughtfully to preserve its culture and values during the shift. The company continues to operate under its well-known leadership principles, the same ones that guided it from humble beginnings to becoming a trillion-dollar enterprise. Maintaining morale during such a massive transformation is no small task. Through town halls, Q&A sessions, and personal outreach, Amazon is making a concerted effort to keep employees informed and appreciated. At the same time, teams are being encouraged to embrace the change as an opportunity for growth and innovation. Cross-cultural training initiatives are being introduced to build understanding and cooperation among global teams. Remote work policies are also evolving, allowing some employees to stay based in the United States. Meanwhile, the broader business world is closely watching Amazon's carefully coordinated relocation strategy. For suppliers across industries, from electronics to fashion, the shift presents both new opportunities and fresh challenges. Some will benefit from better access to emerging markets, while others will need to navigate the logistical hurdles of rerouted supply chains. As companies adjust to the new reality, consulting firms and trade experts are seeing a surge in demand. Businesses are seeking advice on how to mitigate tariffs, explore alternative sourcing strategies, and stay compliant with new trade regulations. The financial markets have responded accordingly. After an initial dip as investors absorbed the implications of the move, Amazon stock began to stabilize as the company laid out its detailed plans for a phased transition. Analysts are adjusting their forecasts to reflect anticipated tax advantages, operational efficiencies, and growth potential in the new host nation. While some skeptics warn that the relocation could damage Amazon's public image or alienate American customers, most market watchers view the move as a bold display of the company's resilience and strategic thinking. Still, the human impact of this decision is profound. Thousands of employees who have built careers with Amazon in the US now face major life decisions. Some will take advantage of generous relocation offers and embrace the chance for a new start abroad. Others will choose to remain and pursue different opportunities closer to home. To support both paths, Amazon has launched programs to help with everything from visas and housing to cultural adaptation. For those staying behind, career counseling is available to help them transition into new roles within the local job market. As news of Amazon's relocation spreads globally, it's fueling broader discussions about what it means to be a corporate citizen in the modern world. In today's global economy, where ambition extends beyond borders, business leaders are rethinking the traditional relationship between companies and the societies they operate in. Amazon's decision challenges the idea that corporate success must be tied to a single country. It raises questions about how businesses define responsibility, not just to shareholders, but also to employees, communities, and governments. The timing of the announcement, coming so soon after a surprising presidential election, underscores how deeply interconnected politics and commerce have become. It's a reminder that corporate strategies can be upended almost overnight by shifts in the political landscape. Around the world, boardrooms are taking notice, reassessing risk, updating contingency plans, and preparing for future regulatory changes. For policymakers, the message is clear. Building a competitive business environment requires consistency and long-term vision, or they risk losing key drivers of economic growth. Amazon's expansion into a new country is expected to pave the way for fresh innovation. Freed from some of the cost burdens imposed by US tariffs, the company can invest in cutting-edge logistics technology, research, and partnerships that were previously hindered. The new headquarters is set to become a global innovation hub, attracting talent from around the world and encouraging collaboration across diverse teams. Still, Amazon's relocation is far from complete. It will unfold gradually, over months and even years, as the company balances its obligations to current employees and customers with the need to build a sustainable future in its new location. Back in Washington, the political fallout is already taking shape. Many see Amazon's move as a clear statement about the impact of recent domestic policies. Global trade alliances may shift in response, as countries reposition themselves around the evolving role of American corporations. Ultimately, Amazon's decision marks a major turning point for global supply chains. Companies that once depended on US-based distribution centers must now rethink their entire logistics strategies. The pivot to fulfillment hubs in Europe, Asia, or other rapidly growing regions is more than just a change in shipping. It's a profound recalibration of how global business operates in a new economic era. Amazon's relocation demands a complete overhaul of its inventory management systems, demand forecasting models, and last-mile delivery networks. In response to the move, the company's software engineers and operations experts are working urgently to refine the algorithms that support Amazon's famously efficient inventory systems. These updates must now factor in longer shipping times, diverse regulatory requirements, and more complex cross-border logistics. Previously reliable models, based on the predictability of US domestic freight, must now accommodate a patchwork of customs inspections, border checks, and shifting import duties from various countries. Meanwhile, Amazon's vast network of vendors is entering unfamiliar territory. Thousands of small and mid-sized businesses that once thrived in the simplicity of shipping within a single, tariff-protected market are now facing more complex and layered cost structures. For manufacturers in Southeast Asia, it may now be more cost-effective to send products through Amazon's new logistics hubs overseas rather than via US ports. This change is prompting a re-evaluation of global manufacturing strategies. Some suppliers are considering moving their operations closer to Amazon's new base, while others explore nearshoring options to shorten delivery times and reduce transportation costs. Supply chain finance must also evolve. Instruments like letters of credit and trade finance agreements will need to be tailored to fit different banking systems and adjusted for currency exchange and risk hedging. On the digital side, Amazon's data infrastructure is also being reimagined. While its cloud division has traditionally relied on massive US-based data centers, it's now planning to expand into new regions. Establishing secure and high-capacity data centers near growing customer bases is crucial, not just for maintaining service speed, but also to comply with a variety of data sovereignty laws around the world. Data scientists and cybersecurity experts are working together to ensure customer data, including purchase histories and payment information, stays protected under complex international privacy regulations. This requires strong encryption, region-specific backup systems, and cross-border data transfer agreements that align with both internal policies and local laws. Amazon's retail partners are also at a turning point. For years, industries like grocery, fashion, and consumer electronics have benefited from Amazon's US-centered logistics system. Now, programs like Ship from Store and Amazon Go must be adapted to fit a more globally distributed framework. Retailers in countries hosting Amazon's new headquarters can expect deeper integration with the platform, while US-focused partners may need to forge new alliances or develop independent logistics systems. This change could pave the way for regional e-commerce leaders to emerge and fill gaps left in the American market. On the financial side, Amazon's global operations will need a major restructuring. The company's finance teams will have to rethink how they manage foreign exchange risks as revenues and expenses shift across currencies. New rules on repatriating profits mean financial experts must develop sophisticated strategies to move money internationally without incurring heavy tax penalties. Analysts are closely studying how offshore financing, interest rate differences, and sovereign credit risks affect Amazon's capital structure. Bonds and credit lines once issued only in US dollars will now be supplemented by those in euros, pounds, yen, or yuan, part of a newly diversified funding approach that reflects Amazon's status as a truly global enterprise. Corporate governance will also evolve. Amazon's board, traditionally rooted in US law and regulations, is likely to expand to include experts in international law and compliance. New audit committees will be formed to monitor cross-border tax strategies and environmental, social, and governance ESG standards, which vary widely by region. As Amazon grows its global footprint, it must balance the expectations of US institutional investors with those of international stakeholders, including sovereign wealth funds and private equity firms in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Shareholder meetings may rotate between continents to reflect the company's global stakeholder base. Labor relations will also be a crucial area of focus. While Amazon has faced unionization efforts and worker advocacy in the US, its move abroad introduces a broad spectrum of labor laws and employment standards. Some countries require profit-sharing programs or formal worker councils. Others offer more flexible employment models. Amazon's HR leaders will need to design compensation and benefits packages that are competitive locally, while staying aligned with the company's global values. Staff training will need to be customized to local languages and cultures, and leadership development programs will be adjusted to support growth across diverse regions. In terms of sustainability, the move opens both opportunities and challenges. The environmental impact of global shipping has long been controversial, and changing distribution patterns could either increase or decrease carbon emissions depending on execution. Amazon has committed to using electric delivery vehicles and sourcing renewable energy for its fulfillment centers. But achieving these goals in countries with less developed infrastructure will require partnerships with local utility providers and electric vehicle manufacturers. Renewable energy credits and carbon offset programs will need to be negotiated country by country to align with Amazon's Shipment Zero Pledge and the climate goals set out in each host nation's commitments under the Paris Agreement. Amazon's marketing strategy is evolving to connect more effectively with its new core audiences. While the brand enjoys global recognition, consumer behaviors differ significantly from one region to another. The marketing team must now fine-tune its messaging to reflect local tastes and preferences. This means localizing language and visuals, aligning campaigns with regional shopping habits and cultural traditions, and updating machine learning systems that drive product recommendations to account for local buying patterns. Loyalty programs may also take on more regional flavor, offering localized rewards such as partnerships with popular local brands or sponsorship of cultural events, fostering stronger engagement with customers who were previously outside Amazon's primary markets. As Amazon expands globally, its competitive environment will also shift. E-commerce giants in Europe and Asia are likely to see Amazon's arrival as both a threat and an opportunity. In markets where Amazon deepens its presence, local competitors may respond by ramping up innovation, focusing on unique offerings like hyperfast delivery, curated product collections, or immersive retail technologies. In contrast, within the US, rising domestic platforms may seek to fill the space left by Amazon's reduced presence. These companies could fast-track partnerships with logistics providers and experiment with omni-channel models to attract customers looking for reliable alternatives. Investors and analysts will closely monitor Amazon's performance from two perspectives: how the company's legacy US operations evolve, and how well the new international hubs perform. Earnings reports may begin to break down revenue and profit margins by region. Analysts will pay attention to figures like per-package fulfillment costs, international Prime membership growth, and the balance between cross-border and domestic sales. Valuation models will be adjusted to reflect the realities of operating in new markets, including geopolitical risks, learning curves, and the capital required to establish or retrofit infrastructure in foreign countries. Educational institutions stand to gain from Amazon's international shift as well. Universities near the new headquarters can expect increased research funding, new internship programs, and collaborative innovation labs in areas like AI, robotics, and supply chain science. Competition for top academic talent may increase as Amazon looks to form strategic partnerships with local scholars and institutions. Doctoral students and postdoctoral researchers may gain access to Amazon's vast data resources and technical expertise, potentially accelerating innovation in machine learning and logistics, and helping create a new pipeline of skilled professionals. The legal field also becomes a crucial player in Amazon's global expansion. International trade attorneys, tax specialists, and antitrust experts will help guide the company through varied regulatory environments, handling everything from business registration to compliance with local e-commerce laws. In regions with strict antitrust regulations, Amazon's legal teams will need to be proactive in adjusting practices to meet fair competition standards. The company's intellectual property strategies will also evolve, ensuring patents, trademarks, and licensing agreements are tailored to each country and protect its technologies and brand worldwide. On the technology front, Amazon's global move is driving advancements in areas like edge computing, robotics, and AI. The robotics teams behind the company's US fulfillment automation will now adapt their solutions to different warehouse designs, labor market dynamics, and even climate conditions. In areas with limited power or internet connectivity, edge computing becomes essential. These systems allow operations to run independently on site and sync with Amazon's global network when bandwidth is available, boosting both resilience and efficiency. Many of these innovations could benefit other industries as well, creating a ripple effect of technological advancement. Community engagement will also enter a new chapter. In the US, Amazon has supported education, workforce training, and local grant programs. Now, as the company expands abroad, its philanthropic efforts will shift to reflect local priorities. These may include digital literacy initiatives, environmental conservation projects, and partnerships with local nonprofits and civic organizations. Amazon's social impact teams will collaborate with regional stakeholders to ensure that corporate giving is culturally relevant and meaningful, helping build trust and strengthen relationships with host communities. Transparency and ethical sourcing will become even more important as Amazon expands its reach. Consumers are increasingly demanding visibility into where their products come from and how they're made. This includes labor conditions, sustainability practices, and environmental responsibility. Amazon will aim to apply consistent ethical standards across all regions while recognizing and incorporating local certification systems like Fair Trade, Rainforest Alliance, or regional eco-labels. The use of blockchain and other traceability tools may expand, offering end-to-end visibility for select product lines and reinforcing customer trust in the brand. Finally, Amazon's international relocation is prompting a deep reevaluation of employee experience and organizational culture. Work models, team dynamics, and cultural integration efforts will all need to be thoughtfully designed to ensure a cohesive global workforce. While Amazon's digital-first mindset allowed for smooth remote collaboration during previous global challenges, the development of new physical headquarters requires a reimagined approach to hybrid work. Office and fulfillment center design teams are now creating spaces that blend Amazon's core leadership values with the local workplace culture. These new spaces will feature collaborative areas, innovation labs, and flexible workstations to support different styles of teamwork and creativity. Diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts will be thoughtfully adapted to reflect the demographics and cultural context of each new region, ensuring that Amazon's workforce is both representative of and respectful towards the communities it serves. Marketing and public relations will also play a critical role in managing the sensitivities surrounding such a major relocation. Cities like Seattle and Arlington, long associated with Amazon's presence, are adjusting to the emotional impact of losing a major employer. Meanwhile, the new host country celebrates the move as a symbol of economic opportunity and global relevance. Amazon's communications will strike a careful balance, recognizing the deep roots it's leaving behind in the US, while clearly explaining the business reasons and customer-focused benefits of this strategic expansion. Through town halls, media briefings, and digital storytelling, the company aims to connect its global ambitions to its ongoing commitment to innovation and customer service. As Amazon moves, it helps reshape the world's innovation hubs. The company's new headquarters will generate ripple effects, spurring the growth of local startups, attracting venture capital, and encouraging research partnerships with nearby universities. These regions may experience a tech boom fueled by access to Amazon's resources, talent, and mentorship. On the other hand, areas that lose Amazon's direct presence might shift their focus toward economic diversification. By investing in emerging sectors like biotechnology, clean energy, or homegrown digital platforms, these communities aim to build resilience and long-term sustainability. Amazon's relocation also carries geopolitical weight. In a world of shifting alliances and restructured trade agreements, its move acts as a signal to global leaders. Countries that win Amazon's investment gain both economic benefits and political leverage, becoming more central in discussions around the digital economy. Meanwhile, the US must reflect on the diplomatic and economic implications of such high-profile corporate exits and potentially reshape trade and investment policies to remain competitive. All of these developments are taking place amid rapidly changing customer expectations. Today's consumers want fast delivery, seamless online experiences, and ethically sound business practices. For Amazon to retain customer loyalty, it must use its scale and tech strength to succeed in a more diversified, international operational model. Cutting-edge solutions, like drone-powered last-mile delivery and AI-driven personalization, will likely be tested in new markets before global rollout. Success in these experiments could solidify Amazon's reputation as a global innovator, even as it manages the complexities of operating across multiple legal and cultural environments. Cybersecurity will also take center stage. As Amazon builds data centers and digital infrastructure across new jurisdictions, it must bolster its defenses against region-specific cyber threats and ensure compliance with diverse national cybersecurity regulations. Collaborating with local security agencies and global cybersecurity alliances will be essential for protecting customer data and keeping services running smoothly. At the same time, Amazon's customer service approach will adapt to a multilingual world. Call centers will be located across time zones, staffed by agents fluent in local dialects and trained to handle cultural differences in service expectations. AI chatbots, once focused on English-speaking users, will evolve to understand and respond empathetically in multiple languages, ensuring quick and personalized support for a global audience. Looking to the future, Amazon will also deepen investments in advanced technologies like quantum computing and blockchain-based logistics. Collaborations with local research institutions will help accelerate pilot projects and place Amazon at the forefront of next-generation computing and decentralized supply chain systems. These partnerships will not only improve Amazon's services, but also help cultivate a pipeline of scientific and tech talent, crucial for maintaining global competitiveness in the years ahead. On the philanthropic front, Amazon's foundation is shifting focus to support global priorities that align with its broader presence. Efforts will include funding digital inclusion, educational exchange programs, and health equity initiatives in underserved communities. By aligning its social impact work with its expanding international footprint, Amazon aims to foster shared prosperity and contribute positively to every community it becomes part of. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Amazon leaving the US following the new trade tariffs? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Please subscribe to the Timefold channel and remember to hit the like button.